Good morning, my dear students. In yesterday's video, we discussed about budding and binary fission. This video, I will start from here fragmentation. Now, let us discuss the fragmentation in detail. This is also a type of asexual reproduction. In this, the parent body break into two or more fragments. Parent body breaks up into two or more fragments, and each fragment grows into new individual. Each fragment grows into a new individual. Suppose this is the parent filament. See the diagram. This is the parent filament. This one. It gets split. From here you can see it gets split into two. Then these two fragments, they form two daughter filaments. Two daughter filaments. This is shown in Spirochera. So, my dear students, in the process of fragmentation, two daughter filaments are formed from one parent filament. Two or more daughter filaments can be formed. Clear? From one parent body. Next, so this was about the fragmentation. Next, we shall discuss spore formation. My dear students, spore formation, several organisms such as bacteria, fungi, mushroom, they reproduce by spore formation. You might have seen bread mold, my dear students. If you keep the bread in open for 1 or 2 days, you will find some greenish color structure arise on the bread. That is a fungus. That is a bread mold. So molds are a type of fungus that reproduce asexually by spore formation. Each spore contains their nuclear material and a smaller mass of cytoplasm. Now the spores, they are present in spore sac or sporangium. Clear, my dear students? These spores, they are present in the spore sac or sporangium. They can resist unfavorable condition. Now, in unfavorable condition, these spores are present in the spore sac or sporangium. But when the conditions become favorable, when suitable environment takes place, then, my dear students, this sporangium breaks, it gets rupture, and spores release out. And spore release out. Clear? Let us see to it. See here. So sporangium get burst. Sporangium get burst, and you can see here sporangium get burst. They release the spores, and each spore germinate. Each spore germinate and give rise to new mold. Clear? Sporangium will burst. Spores will get released out, and spore germinates, gives out a new mold. You can see the diagram also. This is the diagram, my dear students. These are the sporangium. These are the sporangium spore sac in which spores are present. When these spores, sporangium get mature, the spores are being released, you can see, and from these spores new fungus can be developed. New fungus can be developed. Clear? Next we will discuss vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation. My dear students, when the plant reproduce by the vegetative parts such as stem, root, leaves, then such a type of reproduction is known as vegetative propagation. You can see here certain plants reproduce asexually by their vegetative parts like stem, root, leaves, other than the seeds. Then such a kind of reproduction is called vegetative propagation. Clear all of you? So my dear students, certain plants they reproduce by vegetative parts like stem, root, leaves, etc. And this type of reproduction is known as vegetative propagation. Clear all of you? The vegetative propagation takes place in plants which do not produce seeds. There are certain plants which do not produce seeds, so they can be produced by other methods. They can be produced by vegetative propagation. This vegetative propagation it can be done by two methods, natural method and artificial method. Natural method and artificial method. First we will see this natural method, my dear students. Natural vegetative propagation. We'll see this. Natural vegetative propagation. The vegetative propagation is done by underground stem. The stems such as bulb, rhizome, corm, tuber, runner, they help the plant to reproduce vegetatively. Let us discuss one by one. A bulb has a small fleshy leaves. A bulb has a small fleshy leaves called scales and a bud which grow into a new plant. For example, onion it reproduced by underground stem. Clear? Onion reproduced by underground stem. You can see here in the diagram scales and buds of onion bulb are capable to grow the new plants. Clear all of you? So by the help of these bulbs new plant can be grown. Now let us see what are rhizomes. My dear student, rhizomes are branched underground horizontal growing stem. Clear? Rhizomes are branched underground horizontally growing stem. They have distinct nodes and internodes which bear axillary buds. These axillary buds can grow into new plants. So these rhizomes they are underground horizontally growing stem which contain axillary buds, and these axillary buds grows into new plants. For example, ginger, turmeric, banana, they can grow from rhizomes. This ginger, turmeric and banana, they can grow by rhizomes. Let us see here. This is ginger. See here. In the ginger you can see axillary buds. This is the axillary bud which will give rise to a new rhizome. From this axillary bud the new plant will grow. Clear? From this axillary bud the new plant will grow. So in this way ginger it gets developed by the help of axillary buds in the rhizome. Next, corm. A corm is another type of underground stem that grows vertically. So what is a corm? Corm is another type of underground stem that grows vertically. Corm used to grow vertically. The axillary buds born in the axil of scale leaves produce daughter corms which later grow into new plants. Example, Gladiolus grows by corn. Gladulus, it grows by the corn. Next, my dear students, tuber. A tuber is modified. A tuber is modified, fleshy, swollen underground stem which contain food for the plant. It has many small buds called eyes. The tuber has small buds called eyes. You might have seen potato. On potato you will find several eyes. Clear? From that eyes the new plant grows. From the eyes the new plant grows. See this potato. You can see the eyes on this potato. From this eye the new plant grows. Clear? Next we can see biaerial stems. Runners and stolons are creeping stems which produce root at the nodes. Vertical stem arise at these nodes, forming new plants at interval. So runners and stolons, they are creeping stems and which have the nodes, which produce root at their nodes, and from these nodes new plant will grow. New plant will grow. Clear all of you? Next we'll see by roots. By roots also the reproduction takes place. The adventitious roots also help in vegetative reproduction. They become fleshy and tuberous. They have adventitious buds. These roots have adventitious buds which can be detached and grow into a new plant. This bud, it get detached and grow into a new plant. Like sweet potato, it grow by adventitious roots. Asparagus, dahlia, all this grow by adventitious roots. See the diagram. Vegetative propagation by roots of dahlia. You can see adventitious roots in the diagram. Next, my dear students, the vegetative propagation can also be done by the help of leaves. Vegetative reproduction can be seen by the help of leaves also. By leaves, a new plant develop on the margins of the leaf. Leaves of some plants like Bryophyllum, Begonia produce adventitious buds on their margins. In the Bryophyllum, some of you might have seen the Bryophyllum also. On the margins of the leaf you will find that some small plantlets get developed. Clear? And these plantlets can be separated out afterwards and will grow into, on separation from the leaf, these plantlets grow into independent plants. Independent plants. Just see in the diagram. By diagram I will explain it. This is the Bryophyllum leaf. My dear students, on the margin of the leaf you can see several plants. Several small plants are growing. They are growing from the adventitious buds. These plants, they will separate out from here and will develop into new plant. So example for it is Bryophyllum. In Bryophyllum, this takes place. The vegetative propagation by leaves takes place. Clear all of you? So, thank you very much. Next we'll see in the next video.